Those tips, they're like rib tips. No, these aren't like edible tips that you can eat. This is like mental knowledge that you're like soaking into your head. So soak that mental knowledge tip. Don't eat it. Don't eat no tip. You can try it, but it won't be very filling because you'll be like, God, I feel hungry still. So don't do that, y'all. Just take it mentally, okay? Have a good day. Hey guys, welcome to Nikki's Fashion Diary. These are my thrifting tips for when you go to the thrift store. This is the way I do it, guys. So somebody else might have a different idea. These are my tips. This is what I specifically do. So if you're interested, stay tuned. Tip number 1, go often. Guys, something that I do because I'm an avid thrifter, I go weekly. You can even go twice a week. I've been known to do that myself. So go weekly, go often. Because guys, I've been to the thrift store, like I've gone to Savers on a Monday, and then I go back on a Wednesday, and it's a completely new, different set of items. Like what I saw on Monday is different than on Wednesday, and you'll see some of the same items, but you will see different items too. So there is always a new, fresh crop of stock. Go often. Tip number 2, guys. Go to different stores. I don't just go to one thrift store. I go to Savers. I go to Goodwill. I go to Salvation Army. And recently I discovered there's some other thrift stores around me. They're more of like resale boutique stores. So recently I discovered a new sort of boutique resale shop. I went in there. Things are a little bit more pricier because they hand pick what they choose to sell, instead of like Salvation Army where they're like, just give me what you got, I'll take all your shit and I'll sell all your shit too, I don't care, I'm not picky. Yeah, that's like Salvation Army. So at boutiques and small like little resale shops, they're like, this is independently owned and I will curate every one of these fine items in my store. I don't just take crap. That's what these boutiques are like. I am broadening my horizons, but I like the stores with a lot of crap, with a whole bunch of lot of crap on there. Guys, go to a lot of different stores and not just go to a lot of stores, but go to the same store in different towns, because that's what I do. I go to the Salvation Army in a town 15 minutes away from me. I just ventured into a new Salvation Army about like maybe a half hour away from me. There is a difference, it just depends on, you know, of location, and although it is the same store, the same entity, each store carries something a little bit different, or they have something better at one store than they do at another. What I can tell you is that the Salvation Army out by me, that's only like 15 minutes away. That Salvation Army, that one is like real good with like vintage stuff, and like they got a lot of good sweatshirts and stuff. But the Salvation Army that's like a half hour away from me, I found out they got a lot of good toys. So if you got a niece, you got a nephew, you like toys for yourself, their toys are off the chain, they are off the chart. I go for the toys. Each Salvation Army is different in what they carry, so that's why I say don't just go to one, that is that store. Go to that same store in a different area, because odds are that area will cater and specialize to a different crop of X, Y, and Z than the store that you regularly frequent. Tip number 3, guys. Find out the sales at your thrift store. What are the sale days? Por ejemplo, that means for example. I can tell you at Savers, Mondays are 50% off. If you're a senior citizen, and I guess that's 65 and over, then on Tuesdays, everything would be 30% off. Make sure that you know the days of the sales at the thrift stores. And also, make sure, actually I don't have a point to that. So what I'm going to say is, so we talked about Savers. Next is Salvation Army. So the sales there on Saturdays, Salvation Army, every week is a different color at Salvation Army that's on sale on Saturdays. So let's say it's green. Everything that's green on Saturdays with that tag is 69 cents no matter what it is. If it's a dresser, a pair of shoes, a fancy prom dress, it doesn't matter, guys. It just doesn't matter what the heck the item is. Salvation Army sale days is 69 cents on Saturdays. Plus, what Salvation Army does is they have two colors on a Saturday. So the main color will be, you know, if it's green, is a 69-cent color. They'll have another color, which might be blue, which is 25% off. So they give you deals. My camera just done cut off, so what was I saying? Last thing I remember seeing was deals, but what the heck did I say after that? Because I know I said a whole bunch of stuff, but that camera was acting naughty. You was acting naughty, camera, cutting off on me. Basically, get your sale days and get your deals on the sale days. Tip number 3. Let's go to tip number 4. Tip number 4, coupons. Get your coupons, everybody. You got a coupon and you got a coupon. You got a coupon if you donate. You get a coupon if you spend a certain amount of money. Your thrift store will most likely have some type of coupon for you. So I know at Savers, you get a $3 off coupon if you donate. I used to do it, the old me, the silly me who didn't know any better, the silly me who didn't want to deal with driving around to the back. Hey man, I got something to donate. I gotta get out my car. I gotta wait for the attendant to come out. Then he gonna take my bag. That is just like a lot of work and rigmarole. Like that's what the old me thought. But the new me is all about, girl, you better drive yourself to that bag, get that $3 coupon, because I know you're gonna want something that's $10 in there, and you'll be like, damn, I should have got that $3 coupon. I could have saved some money. That is the new me. Don't be lazy and just put your donations, like when you walk in the door, there's usually some big old like tub on wheels, and you just stuff your stuff in. Don't be doing that. Don't be doing the old me tactics. No. Go to the back, go to the attendant, because most likely you will get a coupon. So that's Savers. Goodwill. I know how Goodwill works is if you spend $75, you get a $5 coupon off. And that is at the register. You can't use it on that visit, but you can use it on the next visit. Savers, if you go around the back and donate, and then you go into the store, you can use a coupon in there. Tip number 5, guys, look in every section. So that means plus size women's, that means men's, that means your regular section if you're a woman, you know, that means the kids section, that means toys, that means books, that means purses, because guys, here's why I say that. I have found so many articles in the wrong section because people are shopping and they're like, I don't want that. So they just like, you know, throw it in any random section. They don't care about putting it back in the right section in which they found it. Didn't they learn anything as a kid? Didn't they learn manners? That's why you got to scope out every section with your binoculars and be like, boop, 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 boop. There's the men's section. I haven't gone there. Boop. There's toys. And I say that because you might be in the toy section and somebody might just throw like a really cool top or something and you'll be like, what is this? Oh my God. So guys, that's happened to me countless times. Shop every section, no matter if you're that size or you're that gender, because odds are you're going to find something that you'll really like. Tip number 6, guys, grab a cart. I don't care if you're looking for one thing. Man, whenever I go in and I don't grab a cart, I am always like, damn, I should have grabbed a cart, because you're gonna find stuff. I'm telling you, you're gonna find stuff. Grab a cart, and I don't care if you're like on the fence with an item. This is also my rule of thumb. If you're on the fence, throw it in your cart. And I say that because by the time you're done and everything that you've grabbed, right, that's in there, you can go through it. So what I do is I dump all my stuff in my cart and then I go to an area where there's nobody so that I can have my privacy so that I can go through and say, is this too expensive for what I want to spend? Get rid of it. Do I want to keep this? Am I on the fence? Here's what I'll do sometimes is, if you're still on the fence all the way up until the checkout line, because guys, that has been me. I've been at the checkout and I'm like, I know I'm going to be on the fence with this item. I'm on it. I'm riding that fence. And I'm like, well, the checkout lady's looking at me and I'm like, and I use the pressure of that checkout lady to help me decide how much I want that item. Is it worth it? If I feel pressure, that'll help me to make that decision. Grab everything, put it in your cart. If you're on the fence, it doesn't matter. Even if you're on the fence up until the checkout line, just keep that item with you and make your decision at that time if you can't decide. That happens to me all of the time. So grab a big old cart, y'all. Number 7, guys, designate at least 2 hours of your time at the thrift store. I designate at least 2 hours of my time when I go, and I always exceed that. I'm never like under 2 hours. I'm always an over 2 hour. That was actually kind of hard to say. I always designate that much time because I look at every section, I look at everything, I take my time, I try things on in the fitting room. All of that takes time. Spend, you know, a Saturday when you have that 2 hour time period. Now if you're at a small boutique or a small resale store, it's going to be small and they're not going to be as large as some of these big box thrift stores like Savers and Salvation Army. So what I can say is you don't need to devote that much time to a smaller boutique resale shop, but you do if you're going to a big box shop, and that's typically what I do. Devote enough time. And this kind of goes like hand in hand with it is some people say have a plan when you go. Some people say don't have a plan when you go. I'm someone who believes in both of these things. There's a devil and an angel on my shoulder. Which one do I listen to? So it depends on what I'm looking for. Guys, I typically don't ever have a plan unless I'm specifically searching for an item. Let's say I'm looking for jeans. I know my plan is go to the jeans section first, find what you want, and then after you're done with your jeans, and if you have extra time, then you can go search the rest of the store. Guys, those are my thrifting tips. Those are my top 7 thrifting tips for how I specifically thrift at the thrift store. It could be very different from somebody else's, and that's totally cool. Everyone has their own way. I hope this was helpful. If you go thrifting and you use some of these tips, please let me know. I would love to know if they have come in handy for you, if you find them of value, and if you have also done, you know, a thrifting tips video in the past. Perhaps one of these tips is in your tips, and then we could be like best buds and go thrifting together. I hope you guys really like my thrifting tips because I think they're super special. I tend to not have a plan. But if I have a plan, then I just specifically do what's in my plan. God, that sounded like so not helpful of advice. Thrifting! Thrifting! Oh! Thrifting is cool! Oh! Thrifting is cool! Thrifting tips for you! Thrifting tips for me! Thrifting tips for everybody! Let's go thrifting based off of these thrifts, thrifts, tips. I love thrifting. Oh yeah! Right on, rockin'. I love thrifting, you love thrifting, we all love thrifting. Thrifting, thrifting. We all love to save money. Thrifting, 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 thrifting tips, thrifting tips, thrifting, thrifting, thrifting tips, thrifting tips. Yo, I really love thrifting. I really love tips. Thrifting tips are so much fun. Come with me, everybody. Let's play and sing this song. Thrifting tips, sing with me. It's easy as A, B, C, or 1, 2, 3. Thrifting tips, just so easy to follow. Just take my tips, go to the store and pick out some shit.